Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Roberto Hernandez Stadium on the campus of the University of South Carolina at Aiken for this afternoon's Peach Belt Conference matchup between the visiting Lander University Bearcats and your USC Aiken Pacers. I'm Reeves Altman saying thank you so much for tuning in, and we are just moments away from first pitch. First, some stats for the visiting Lander Bearcats. They are 23 and 24 overall, 15 and 12 in Peach Belt Conference play. They are 15 and 10 at home and 8 and 13 on the road, 0 and 1 at neutral sites. And for the Pacers, they are 29 and 18 on the season, 19 and 8 in conference play, 15 and 10 here in Aiken, South Carolina, 14 and 7 on the road, and they are also 0 and 1 at a neutral site. On the mound this afternoon for the Pacers, leading things off is number 30, Jacob Fletcher. He is 7 and 2 on the year in 12 appearances, 84 innings pitched, 64 strikeouts, and a .220 opponent's batting average. A late season matchup for these two teams. I do believe this is the last conference weekend before the tournament starts. And we are now just seconds away from first pitch. We'll get you those defensive lineups coming out in just a second here for both the Pacers and the Bearcats. And leading things off first for Lander is number 2, Oliver Zahn. He is the left fielder this afternoon, batting .349 in 36 games this season, a .450 slugging percentage with 19 RBIs, and a .459 on-base percentage. He steps into the left-handed batter's box here. Fletcher working out of a windup. First pitch misses high and outside for ball one. Caden Blankenship will be at third base defensively for the Pacers here after seeing a lot of action at second base. The 1-0 on the way. Swung on and fouled off for strike one. The 1-1 is swung on and fouled off down the first base line, now 1-2. Zahn right on the front line of the batter's box, really making Fletcher throw outside as the 1-2 is and misses outside. Now 2-2. As Fletcher gets his signal now. Comes set on the mound and the 2-2. Breaking ball, they're going to be hit on the ground. Mazingo's able to play it, take it to the bag himself for out number one. Catcher number one, Will McClellan, now at the plate, batting .301 in 46 games this season. .497 slugging percentage, .453 on base percentage, and 37 RBIs. Lineup defensively for the Pacers. Behind the plate, catcher number 33, that's Caden Ussery. At first base is number 19. Joe Mazingo is the first one from McClellan, is fouled off out of play. Second base back in the lineup. Big news for the Pacers here is number 2, James Eckert. He's been battling with injuries, but he's back in the lineup here. Number 15, Justin Bird at shortstop, and number 7, Caden Blankenship at third. The 0-1 to McClellan is a breaking ball, going to be hit high into left field, down the left field line. Coming over to almost make the catch is Sharp, but it was just out in front of him, unable to run it down. Speaking of which, Josh Sharp, number 22, out in left field. Center fielder is number 10, Jackson Hannon, and in right field is number 12, Jose Hernandez. Now the count 0-2 to McClellan at the plate. And the 0-2. Missing low and outside, moves the count now to 1-2. Wind blowing out here in Aiken. Now the 1-2 from Fletcher. On the ground, Blankenship has a glove on it, throws over. 4 out, number 2. Designated hitter number 30, Connor Droz, now comes to the plate, batting .302 in 40 games this season, a .496 slugging percentage, a .483 on-base percentage, 34 RBIs, and 6 home runs. Another left-handed batter here 2 away, and the first pitch from Fletcher. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Bases empty, Pacers in 2-out depth on the infield as the 0-1 misses outside, now 1-1. The 1-1 misses low, 2-1 now the count. The 2-1 is fouled off to the backstop, evens the count now at 2-2. So 2's across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fletcher taking his time now on the mound. And the 2-2. Misses high, count is full at 3-2. Now the 3-2. Going to be a line drive into center field for a base hit. So Droz gets the first hit of the afternoon for either side. And the Bearcats have a 2-out base runner here in the top of the first. Right fielder number 25, Lucas Martino, now come to the plate, batting .352 in 20 games this season, a .620 slugging percentage, .410 on-base percentage, and 21 RBIs. Fletcher having to work out of the stretch for the first time this afternoon, and he puts the glove out on a comebacker, plays it on a bounce, throws over to Mazingo for out number 3, and the side is retired. For the Bearcats in the top of the first, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Pacers coming to the plate for the first time this afternoon. Your score still tied at 0. Welcome back to the bottom of the first inning here. USC Aiken coming to the plate for the first time against the Lander Bearcats. On the mound for the Bearcats is number 47, Nick Foray. He is 4-5 on the year with 69 innings pitched, 51 strikeouts, and a .230 opponent's batting average. And leading things off for the Pacers is left fielder number 22, Josh Sharp. Sharp batting .302 in 39 games played this season, a .396 slugging percentage, a .365 on-base percentage with 22 RBIs. Foray, a left-handed pitcher here, so a lefty-on-lefty battle here. Corners playing in for the Bearcats. Sharp has been known to try and lay down bunts early in the count. As the first pitch is on the inside corner, but finds the zone for strike 1. The 0-1 is swung on by Sharp and fouled off to the backstop. Now 0-2. 0-2 now the count to Sharp. Foray ready on the mound, and the pitch. A breaking ball, Sharp's going to hit on the line into left field, just out of the reach of the shortstop Wilder for a base hit. Center fielder number 10, Jackson Hannon, comes to the plate. In 47 games this season, he is batting .317 with a .444 slugging percentage, .392 on-base percentage, and 35 RBIs. He has a runner on first here. That's Sharp, after he gave the Pacers their first hit of the afternoon. Foray worked out of the stretch while facing Sharp. As Hannon scores around a bunt, the throw down to second is high and not in time as Sharp is able to get in under the tag. That is Sharp's 12th stolen base this season. He is now 12 for 14 on the year. So the Pacers now have a runner in scoring position. As the ball was outside to Sharp, he was able to get the bat back in time, or excuse me, the pitch to Hannon, he was able to get the bat back in time. So the count is now 1-0. The 1-0 finds the zone, 1-1 the count. The 1-1 right on the outside corner, a fastball, now 1-2 to Hannon. One and two now the count. As Hannon's going to hit a bouncing ball down the first base line, but it's going to be caught in foul territory, and we'll do the 1-2 over. One and two still the count to Hannon. Sharp gets his lead at second. Now the pitch is high and outside. Now the count even at 2-2. Foray taking his time on the mound. Coming set now, still working out of the stretch. The 2-2 to Hannon hits a line drive into left field again. Sharp had to stop in his place to make sure the ball wasn't caught. And the Pacers now have runners on the corners after back-to-back hits here to start the bottom of the first. First baseman number 19, Joe Mazingo, will make his way to the plate for the Pacers now. He is batting .412 in 32 games this season, a .482 slugging percentage, a .444 on-base percentage, and 25 RBIs. As the catcher McClellan comes out from behind the plate to make the first and third call defensively. Hannon will be held at first. The third baseman, Marinquez, is playing even with the bag, a few steps in front, might be anticipating a bunt from Mazingo here. Hannon and Sharp both kiss their leads. Foray now ready on the mound. First pitch to Mazingo's on the inside corner for strike one. Mazingo swings and fouls it off out of play. And now the count is quickly 0-2. Oh and 2 now the count. 4-8 set on the mound. And the pitch. Mazingo's able to swing and foul it off out of play, and we'll redo the 0-2. Pacers have back-to-back singles here after a stolen base from Sharp. Moved him over to second, advancing to third on the Hannon single. And the 0-2 to Mazingo. On the outside, Mazingo's able to get a piece of it just off the end of the bat, and it'll be fouled off to the backstop. And the count is to remain at 0-2. Mazingo playing in his batting stance right on the line of the batter's box as well. And the 0-2. Hannon breaks for second. Swung and missed by Mazingo. And they might call batter interference here, and Hannon might be out at second base. As the umpires are going to discuss here. So Mazingo was down on strikes anyway. They might call batter interference on to trying to get Hannon stealing at second as the umpires are coming over to discuss it. And they're going to call Hannon out. As Coach Holder's making his way out to discuss what's going on. Visibly unhappy with the call. So Coach Holder makes his way back to the dugout after a promising start for the Pacers here in the bottom of the first. They found themselves with 2 outs and only a runner on third, which will bring to the plate Luke Parker. Batting .294 in 46 games this season, a .388 slugging percentage. First pitch to Parker, low and inside, ball one. .363 on base percentage and 25 RBIs for Parker. Now the 0-1. Breaking outside, missing, 2-0 the count. First baseman playing up in front of the bag here, almost on the grass for the Bearcats. Every other defender on the infield playing back. The 2-0, a bouncing ball hit by Parker on the right side, right to the second baseman, Burgess. And the out is recorded for number 3. The side is retired, and the Bearcats get out of a jam here for the Pacers in the bottom of the first. No runs on 2 hits and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the top of the second. Your score still tied at 0 with Lander coming back to the plate. Welcome back to the top of the second inning here. Lander coming back to the plate. Score still tied at 0. Number 32, Chris Menarquez at the plate, the third baseman for the Bearcats. He's batting .229 in 34 games this season, as the first pitch to him is right down the middle for strike 1. He has a .331 slugging percentage with a .292 on base percentage and 21 RBIs. Fletcher goes back to work as the 0-1 is going to be hit on the ground. Eckert's got to play on it, playing it on the bounce, throwing over to first for out number 1. Shortstop number 21, Ethan Wilder, batting .284 in 35 games this season, a .388 slugging percentage, .359 on-base percentage with 20 RBIs. First pitch to Wilder's on the outside corner for strike one. The 0-1 is swung on and fouled to the backstop, now quickly 0-2. The 0-2 from Fletcher. Missing outside, 1-2. The 1-2 just misses outside, and the count is now even at 2-2. Fletcher still working out of the windup. The 2-2 misses low and away, moves the count now full to 3-2. So after getting two quick strikes, Fletcher struggling to find the strike zone. And the pitch. Bouncing ball played. Mazingo charges, gets it in the glove, throwing over to first for out number 2. Excuse me, that was Caden Blankenship at third base making that out.
First baseman number 8, Bennett Noe.
First baseman number 8, Bennett Noe at the plate. He's batting .246 in 25 games this season, .338 slugging percentage, 18 RBIs with a .329 on-base percentage. As no one's going to try and square around a bunt, but it's going to go foul for strike one. The 0-1 down the middle, now 0-2. The 0-2 from Fletcher just misses on the outside, and the count moves to 1-2. Noe ready at the plate, Fletcher ready on the mound. The 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and the side is retired. For the Bearcats in the top of the second, no runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Pacers coming back to the plate, still tied at 0. Bottom of the second here in Aiken, South Carolina. Shortstop number 15, Justin Bird, now coming to the plate. Bird batting .227 in 47 games this season. .351 slugging percentage, a .297 on-base percentage with 35 RBIs. 4A still on the mound here for the Bearcats. And the first pitch to Bird is on the outside for ball 1. Corners playing in here for the Bearcats. Middle infielders playing back. Bird comes set for A, still working out of the stretch here, even with the bases empty. The 1-0 down the middle now, 1-1. The 1-1, a breaking ball back off the mound, almost getting a piece of 4A, but he's able to get out of the way. And Bird is on base again, so 3 hits in the first 6 batters here for the Pacers. Catcher number 33, Caden Ussery, now comes to the plate, batting .298 in 22 games this season, a .386 slugging percentage, .349 on base percentage with 3 RBIs. Noon holds Bird at first. Bird gets his lead for a left-handed pitcher. As he doesn't look at, as a comebacker hits for A. That was a hard hit ball. He's up on his feet trying to cover the bag as time is going to be called. That was a hard hit ball by Ussery right back at him. We definitely hope he's okay. We'll step aside here as the trainers come out to take a look at 4A on the mound. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After the scary incident on the diamond, 4A is going to stay on the mound. He appears to be okay. Definitely glad to see that. So the Pacers now have runners on the corners with nobody out. That was Caden Ussery and now Justin Bird over at third. Caden Blankenship coming to the plate, batting .288 in 47 games this season. .399 slugging percentage, a .387 on base percentage with 21 RBIs. Pacers offense at work early here with 4 hits already here in the bottom of the second, but no runs have come across to score yet. As Ussery gets his lead at first, he's held defensively. 4A gives him a look, now comes to the plate. As Blankenship looks to bunt, the ball is in the dirt as he gets the bat back in time. Blankenship ready at the plate again. The third baseman, Marquez, playing up. As Blankenship squares the bunt again, and it's fouled off to the backstop for strike 1. One and one, still the count to Blankenship. He squares the bunt again, and it's going to be popped up into foul territory, and the count now 1-2. Foy ready on the mound now. And the 1-2 to Blankenship. Low and inside, 2-2 now the count. No runners advance. So with 2 strikes of Blankenship were to put another bunt in the foul territory, it'd be strike 3. Not appearing to bunt again, and the 2-2 going to be hit down right down the line, a base hit. The Pacers are going to get one run across here on a RBI single from Caden Blankenship, and they take a 1-0 lead here over the Lander Bearcats. Now right fielder number 12, Jose Hernandez at the plate. 29 games this season, he's batting .217 with a .434 slugging percentage, a .347 on-base percentage, and 16 RBIs. Foray still on the mound. He comes set. And Hernandez going to square around to bunt. It's going to be placed perfectly down the third base line. They're going to have to hustle to get the throw over. And Hernandez beats it out, and the Pacers have the bases loaded. A perfectly executed bunt right down the third base line. Great effort there by Marquez to try and get the throw over, but also better speed from Hernandez to beat out the throw. And that brings to the plate second baseman number 2, James Eckert. In 35 games this season, Eckert batting .288 with a .381 on-base percentage, .342 slugging percentage, and 10 RBIs. So Foray still working out of the stretch here with the bases loaded. Nobody away here in the bottom of the second. And the first pitch to Eckert, he swung on and missed. And a run did come across to score there. So the Pacers have a 2-0 lead now. Bases are still loaded. Actually, there's a mistake on the scoreboard. Now the Pacers only have one run that came across, so the score still is 1-0. The bases are loaded, and the count is 0-2 to Eckert. Foray ready on the mound, and the 0-2. Down the middle, called strike 3, and out number 1. So Eckert was the number 9 man in the lineup. That brings to the top of the lineup back to the plate for the Pacers with number 22, Josh Sharp. Sharp 1 for 1 with a single to lead things off in the bottom of the first for the Pacers. Sharp swings at the first pitch. It's going to be right to the first baseman, and it gets through the catcher's legs. The Pacers get one run across on the error. So the Pacers now take a 2-0 lead. That was a bouncing ball right at the first baseman own, and he threw it to the catcher, McClellan, but it went through his legs. So the Pacers catch a break there and get a run to come across and score. Bases remain loaded with only one away here, and they lead 2-0. Jackson Hannon, number 10 at the plate. He is also 1 for 1 with a single back in the bottom of the first. Foray ready on the mound. First pitch to Hannon is low and inside, ball 1. The 1-0 to Hannon misses outside and high. 2-0 now the count. Two and 0 to Hannon on the way. On the inside, called strike 1. Two and 1 now the count. Foray ready on the mound. The pitch to Hannon is low and inside, and the count moves to 3 and 1. Three and 1 is the count to Hannon now. Foray ready on the mound, and the pitch. Hannon going to be hit on the ground to shortstop. Water goes to second for 1, throwing over to first. in time for out number 3, and the side is retired. So for the Pacers in the bottom of the second, they get 2 runs on 4 hits and 2 men left on base. We'll go to the top of the third. Lander coming to the plate, now trailing 2-0. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the third inning here. Lander at the plate, and leading things off is number 6, Matthew Burgess, the second baseman. He's batting .338 in 47 games this season, a .381 slugging percentage with 20 RBIs and a .425 on-base percentage. Fletcher still on the mound here for the Pacers. And the first pitch misses inside for ball 1. The 1-0 is low and outside, 2-0 now the count. Now the 2-0 from Fletcher. Down the middle, called strike 1. Burgess ready at the mound. 2-1 on the way. Swung on and missed. Now 2-2. Count is even at 2-2, and the pitch to Burgess is inside, moves the count now to 3-2. Now the 3-2 from Fletcher. On the ground, Blankenship takes a step back, now throws over to first. A high throw, and it's going to get away from Azingo. So the Bearcats catch a break on the throwing error there as they have a leadoff runner on here with nobody weighing the top of the first. Now number 9, Gary Garrett, the center fielder, comes to the plate. Garrett batting .306 in 43 games this season with a .403 slugging percentage, .417 on-base percentage, and 17 RBIs. So Fletcher going to have to work out of the stretch here for only the second time this afternoon. Blankenship playing up in front of the bag as they're going to check the runner at first, and he's back safely. Might be anticipating a bunt here, trying to be laying down the third base line. Now Fletcher comes set, and they're going to check the runner again, and he's back safely. A very aggressive lead over there at first base from Burgess. Another first pitch to Garrett. Swung on and fouled off out of play down the third baseline for strike 1. Fletcher takes a look at Burgess at first. Taking his time, now comes to the plate. The 0-1 misses outside, 1-1 now the count. Fletcher takes his time on the mound, now throws back over to first. And he's back safely. Count still remains 1-1. The 1-1 is swung on and fouled off on the third base line. Coming over to try and make a play is Blankenship. And he makes the catch in foul territory, stretching his glove over into the bullpen, but he makes the out for out number 1. Left fielder number 2, Oliver Zone, comes back to the plate, and he was the leadoff man here for the Bearcats. So they've batted through much like the Pacers did in the bottom of the second. He'll come to the plate with a runner on first and 1 away. Lander trailing 2-0 to USC Aiken. Fletcher still having to work out of the stretch here. And he checks the runner again at first, and he's back safely. First pitch to Zahn is low for ball 1. The 1-0 outside, 2-0 the count. And they throw over on Burgess again at first base. He just gets back in time in front of the tag, but he is back safely. 2-0 the count to Zahn at first at the plate. Fletcher comes to the plate. Zahn swings and fouls it off out of play down the first baseline for strike 1. The 2-1 still the count here. Burgess gets his lead at first. Fletcher looks, now comes to the plate. And it's going to be a line drive down the right field line for a base hit, and it's going to go into the corner. Hernandez giving chase as Burgess is going to round second, and he slips. He slips rounding third, and he's going to have to retreat back to the bag. So no run is able to come across and score. Great job by the Pacers to get the ball in quickly as time has now been called, and the Bearcats have runners on second and third with only 1 away. Burgess was rounding third coming home, and Zahn was rounding second going to third, but they both had to retreat as Burgess slipped rounding the bag. So now number 1, Will McClown, the catcher, at the plate with 2 runners in scoring position here in the top of the third. Still only 1 away as all the runners get their lead. Fletcher takes a look at second, now comes to the plate. And the first pitch to McClown is outside for ball 1. The 1-0 from Fletcher is called strike 1. Fletcher ready on the mound, and the 1-1 now. On the outside corner, a fastball, now 1-2. Runners get their lead. Fletcher ready on the mound. Now the 1-2. Off-speed pitch misses high. Now the count 2-2. Count is even at 2-2. The pitch, a check swing at the plate. They're going to say it was high, and he did not go around, so the count is now full at 3-2. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Going to be a line drive caught by Blankenship at third. They don't call it the hot corner for nothing, as that was hit directly at him. He was able to get the glove on it, tried to get a double play at third base, but Burgess was able to get back in time. So 2 away here. Runner still on second and third with Connor Droz, the designated hitter, coming to the plate. Droz swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. And the 0-1 finds the zone now, quickly 0-2. To the count. Fletcher ready on the mound, and the pitch. Swung on and popped up into shallow left field. Calling for it is Blankenship. Actually, Sharp calls everybody off, runs up to make the catch to retire the side. For the Bearcats in the top of the third, no runs on 1 hit, 1 man left on base, and the Pacers had 1 error defensively. We will go to the bottom of the third. USC Aiken coming back to the plate, leading 2-0. Bottom of the third inning here in Aiken, South Carolina. The Pacers coming back to the plate with number 19, first baseman Joe Mazingo, leading things off. Number 47, 4A, still on the mound here for the Bearcats, working out of the stretch from the left side of the mound. Mazingo swings at the first pitch. Is going to hit it high into shallow right field. Coming on to play it is Martino for out number 1. Now designated hitter number 8, Luke Parker, makes his way to the plate with 1 away here in the bottom of the third. First pitch to Parker misses outside, ball one. The 1-0 Parker swings. It's going to be popped up on the left side, making a sliding catch. No signal yet. And they're going to say make the cut. Great sliding catch right there in front of the Bearcats dugout by Noon for out number 2. So now shortstop number 15, Justin Bird, comes to the plate with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Bird's going to hit a line drive into left field, a base hit. Just out of the reach of the third baseman, Minarquez. And the Pacers have a 2-out single here, runner on first. Now catcher number 33, Caden Usry, makes his way back to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a single on the afternoon. Now Foray ready on the mound. Bird gets his lead at first. As he takes a look at Bird, now comes to the plate. Usry swings and misses for strike 1. And the 0-1 to Usry. Breaking ball missing high and outside, 1-1. Now the 1-1. Missing outside, 2-1 the count. The 2-1 missing outside, now 3-1 the count to Caden Usry at the plate. Bird on first, 2 away here, bottom of the third. Pacers lead 2-0 over Lander. Bird takes off for second. The pitch out, and it's going to be in time, and the side is retired. So Bird was thrown out on the base path. It might have been called strike 3 at the plate anyway, but it only would have been strike 2 on Usry. So for the Pacers, no runs on 1 hit and nobody left on base. We played 3. We'll go to the top of the 4th. Lander coming to the plate, trailing 2-0. Welcome back to the top of the 4th inning here. Lander at the plate, and leading things off is number 25, Lucas Martino, the right fielder defensively. Fletcher still on the mound for the Pacers, and the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Fletcher still taking his time. Now the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Ball in the dirt. Had Martino out in front. Now the 1-1. On the outside corner, called strike 2. And the 1-2 low, just missing outside, evens the count now at 2-2. And the 2-2 from Fletcher. Swung on and fouled off out of play down the left field line. And the count remains at 2-2. The 2-2 is going to be fouled off at the plate again, and we'll do it over. Count still even at 2-2 here, and the pitch from Fletcher. Swung on and missed for strike 3 and out number 1.
Third baseman number 32, Chris Manriquez.
Third baseman number 32, Chris Manriquez now at the plate. One away here in the top of the 4th. First pitch on the outside corner, strike 1. The 1-1 off the handle of the bat, going to be hit into shallow center field. Justin Berg going out to make a literal over-the-shoulder catch for out number 2. Great communication there between him and Josh Sharp to be able to call off Sharp to make the over-the-shoulder catch for out number 2. Now shortstop number 21, Ethan Wilder at the plate. As Wilder's going to hit a fly ball into left field. Josh Sharp barely has to move to make the catch to retire the side. For the Bearcats in the top of the 4th, no runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Pacers coming to the plate, still leading 2-0. Bottom of the 4th inning here, number 33, Caden Ussery, going to lead things off for the Pacers. He was at bat to end the bottom of the 3rd inning, but since Bird was thrown out on the base path, he comes back to finish his at bat out. Foyer still on the mound here for the Bearcats. As the first pitch to Ussery is high for ball 1. The 1-0 to Ussery is going to be a breaking ball, which finds the outside corner of the zone for strike one. Now the 1-1 low and inside, 2-1 the count. Another 2-1. Ussery's going to hit high down the right field line, but it's going to go out of play. Two and two now the count. 4A ready on the mound. And the pitch, Ussery's going to hit on the ground. Wilder's got a play on it, throwing over to first. And then it's going to get away from the first baseman, was unable to play it on a hop. And the Pacers have a base runner here after the throwing error to start things off here in the fourth. Now the third baseman, Caden Blankenship, at the plate. So Blankenship comes to the plate. One runner on first, nobody out here. 4A comes set on the mound. There's movement in the Bearcats bullpen. And Blankenship's going to swing at the first pitch and pop it up out of play. Down the right field line for strike one. So Ussery gets his lead at first now. 0-1 is the count. And the 0-1 misses outside, makes the count 1-1. The 1-1 on the way, a bouncing ball, diving stop by Marquez, but he's going to keep it on the infield, unable to make a throw over. But great defensive effort to keep the ball out of the outfield. But runners on first and second with nobody out here for the Pacers. And that'll bring to the plate so runners on first and second, bringing to the plate Jose Hernandez, the right fielder for the Pacers here. That is the Pacers' 8th hit on the afternoon. As 4A ready on the mound now. Hernandez scores around a bunt. Infielders charging in, and the bunt is popped up off of the backstop. Pacers having a lot of issues here recently trying to get bunts in play. There was a perfect one put down by Blankenship earlier in the game, but even earlier this week in the game versus Erskine, where the Pacers did win by a final score of 6-5, they struggled getting bunts down the base pass and popping bunts up. So 0-1 now the count to Hernandez. After the last bunt attempt, the corner's playing up for the Bearcats. Now the 0-1, Hernandez goes to square around again, but the ball is low, and the count now 1-1. 1-1 still the count. 4A ready on the mound. Hernandez squares around to bunt, and it's going to be down the third base line. Marquez throws over to first, and they're going to have – he pulls him off the bag. And Hernandez, when he goes to hit the bag, no one had to get him on the tag, and when Hernandez made contact with him, the ball popped out. So the Pacers have the bases loaded and nobody out here, bringing to the plate second baseman number 2, James Eckert. So now 4A ready on the mound once again, still working out of the stretch as he has all game. Bases loaded for Eckert for the second time this afternoon. Eckert swings at the first pitch and is going to foul it off out of play down the first base line for strike one. 0-1 now the count as time is called at the plate. It's called by the catcher, Massellin. And we're set and ready to return to action. Corners playing in here for the Bearcats might be trying to get a double play started at home if it's hit to them. And now the 0-1 to Eckert. Low and inside, 1-1. The 1-1 to Eckert. Low, 2-1 now the count. Two and one the count to Eckert. Now the pitch. Right on the outside corner, now 2-2. Foray taking his time on the mound. Now he comes set. 2-2 the count. Bases loaded. And the pitch to Eckert. An off-speed pitch which misses outside, and the count is 3-2. Eckert ready at the plate now. All base runners get their lead for the Pacers. 3-2 the count. Foray ready on the mound and the pitch. Eckert's going to swing and hit a bouncing ball to the third baseman. He goes to home for one, gets the force out. So out number one on the fielder's choice from Eckert. It was hit right to the third baseman, Marquez. And the top of the lineup for the Pacers coming to the plate with number 22, Josh Sharp. Bases remain loaded, but there is one away. So Sharp taking his time at the plate. Foray comes set on the mound. The first pitch is outside for ball one. The 1-0 misses inside on Sharp. 2-0 now the count. The 2-0 is inside again. Now the count 3-0 on Josh Sharp. Foray ready on the mound. And the 3-0 finds the zone, makes it 3-1. Sharp swings at the 3-1 and hit it into left field for a base hit. One run is in. They're going to hold the second runner as a great relay in from Zahn in left field. But the Pacers get another run across, and they extend their lead to 3-0 on the RBI single from Josh Sharp. And that'll bring to the plate center fielder number 10, Jackson Hannon. Hannon 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Hannon swings at the first pitch, and then he popped up on the back of the infield. And they're going to call infield fly. And that'll be out number 2. Now first baseman number 19, Joe Mazinga, will come to the plate with 2 away and the bases loaded. Mazinga swings and hits it a softball into center field. Coming on to make a diving catch is Garrett for out number 3, and the side is retired. For the Pacers, they get 1 run on 1 hit, but 3 men left on base. We'll go to the top of the 5th. Bearcats coming to the plate to trailing now 3-0. Top of the 5th here, Lander coming to the plate and leading things off as first baseman, number 8, Bennett Noe. Fletcher, number 30, still on the mound here for the Pacers. They lead the Bearcats by a score of 3-0. And Noe's going to swing at the first pitch he sees and hit a foul ball down the third base line. The 0-1 missing high, 1-1. The 1-1 is going to be hit high and deep into left center field. Hannon and Sharp giving chase, and it's going to bounce off the warning track. Sharp gets it in quickly, but the Bearcats have a leadoff double here from Noe in the top of the 5th. Second baseman number 6, Matthew Burgess, now at the plate. Runner in scoring position here with nobody out. First pitch is low and away for ball 1. The 1-0 down the middle now, strike 1. Fletcher takes a look at second, now comes to the plate. The 1-1 just misses outside, 2-1 the count. Bird makes an attempt to get a pick off at second. And the 2-1 is going to be hit high into right center field. Hernandez comes over to make the catch. Runner tagging for third. And he's going to get in safely. So one away here, runner on third for the Bearcats. With number 9, Gary Garrett coming to the plate. Garrett made a great diving catch to make the third out last in the bottom of the fourth inning to keep the Pacers off the board. Only one run was able to come across to score as the Pacers left the bases loaded. First pitch to Garrett on the outside corner, strike one. Now the 0-1. Just missing outside, 1-1. Now the 1-1. On the outside, 1-2. Now the count to Garrett. The 1-2 is going to be a bouncing ball up the middle. Eckert has a glove on it, having to throw over quickly. And Garrett beat the throw out, so the run comes across to score. And Lander gets an infield single on the hustle play from the center fielder Garrett. So they only trail now by a score of 3-1. Left fielder number 2, Oliver Zahn, now at the plate. So the leadoff man back at the plate here for the Bearcats. Fletcher checks the runner at first. He's back safely. Fletcher checks the runner again at first, and he's back safely. Fletcher has a fast pickoff move, and he is not afraid to use it. He's thrown over numerous times to try and get a pickoff at first. As he checks him again, the ball gets away from Mazingo, and Garrett's going to be able to take his base at second. The time is called here. The Pacers are going to have a meeting at the mound. Going to take a quick break. 3-1 your score. Lander in business here. Runner on second with only one away in top of the fifth. And welcome back. Meeting at the mound took place after the pickoff move went into right field, which gave Garrett second base. And now the Bearcats have a runner in scoring position again after already getting a run across here with only one away in the top of the fifth. Fletcher looks back at second, now comes to Zolliver at the plate, and it's going to be a bouncing ball played by Mazingo, but it's going to go foul right in front of the bag for strike one. Fletcher ready on the mound now, still working out of the stretch with a runner on second. And the 0-1. Right on the outside now, 0-2 the count. Zahn at the plate. Fletcher still taking his time on the mound. Now comes set. Takes a look at Garrett at second base. Now comes to the plate. This is outside. The count 1-2. The 1-2 is going to be softly hit into left field for a base hit. Sharp gets it in quickly, but the Bearcats still in business as the offense is coming to life. Runners on first and third with only one away. Now catcher number 1, Will McClellan, will come to the plate as Ussery comes out to make the first and third call defensively for the defense. Zahn gets his lead at first, and Coach Holder's made his way out from the Pacers dugout. We might have a pitching change coming up here, as there is movement in the Pacers bullpen, and it appears that Fletcher's afternoon is going to come to an end here. So a new pitcher coming in for the Pacers. We'll get you his name and number here in just a second. Pacers lead 3-1, but the Bearcats in business here. Runners on the corners with only one away in the top of the fifth. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the top of the fifth inning. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Pacers, and that is number 31, Austin Sandifer. He has a 3.66 ERA, a 2-2 record on the year, 32 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts, with a .210 opponent's batting average. He comes in relief of number 30, Jacob Fletcher. And he comes in to face off against catcher number 1, Will McClellan. Runners on the corners with only one away here for the Bearcats in the top of the fifth. Sandifer comes in straight, having to work out of the stretch, as I do believe he works out of the stretch even with no runners on base. The first pitch is low, ball 1. One 0 runner takes off for second, as it's going to be Safe at second, and the run comes across to score. So it's not technically a double steal, but the runner steals second, and the Bearcats get a run across, and they trail now only by a score of 3-2. 1-0 is the count to McClellan now. Runner on second. Sandifer comes set on the mound. 2-0 the count. Breaking ball finds the zone for strike one. So 2-1 the count now. So they switched the count now, and this 1 ball and 2 strikes with that ball being outside. Now the count is 2-2. Sandifer ready on the mound, wasting no time. Comes set, and the 2-2. It's going to be a bouncing ball hit into foul territory, and the count even at 2-2 still. Count is even at 2-2 still, and the pitch swung on and missed by McClellan for strike 3 and out number 2. Now designated hitter number 30, Connor Droz, comes to the plate with 2 outs. Runner on second here in the top of the 5th. First pitch to Droz is outside for ball 1. The 1-0 down the middle now, 1-1. Sandifer ready on the mound. He takes a look at second. Now comes to the plate. And Droz swings and misses, and now the count is 1-2. And now the 1-2 from Sandifer. Curveball misses outside, evens the count at 2-2. It's even, 2s all across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. Droz swings and fouls it off out of play, and the count remains at 2-2. And now the 2-2. Droz hits a high fly ball into right field, and that is a no-doubter. And the Bearcats have the lead now, 4-3, on a 2-run home run from number 30, Connor Droz. So that gives the Bearcats their first lead of the afternoon here. And a 4-run 5th. They've made the most of the Pacers' mistakes earlier in the inning. Now at the plate is number 25, Lucas Martino. He is the right fielder. Now the 1-0 on the outside, 1-1 the call. The 1-1 is hit into center field. Jackson Hannon makes the catch and the side is retired. But the damage was done by the Bearcats. They get 4 runs on 2 hits and nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Pacers now find themselves down by a score of 4-3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There's a new pitcher on the mound here for the Bearcats. Number 27, Evan Demarius, now taking over pitching duties from 4A. And Luke Parker, number 8, set the lead things off here for the Pacers. Demarius taking his time on the mound, working out of the windup. And the first pitch to Parker is low for ball 1. The 1-0 to Parker on the inside, 1-1 now the count. The 1-1 is a curveball that's going to find the zone on Parker. Now 1-2 the count. And the 1-2's going to hit Parker, and he's going to take his base. Another breaking ball that went a little bit too far inside. And that'll bring to the plate shortstop number 15, Justin Bird. Demarius going to have to work out of the stretch for the first time this afternoon. Bird squares the bunt, but the ball's going to find the zone for strike 1. Third baseman Marquez playing up in front of the bag now. Might be anticipating another bunt attempt here from Bird to advance Parker to second. As they're going to check Parker, he's back in time safely. Bird's going to hit a bouncing ball off the end of the bat. The second baseman's got it. He's going to flip to second for 1 to get the force. And Parker is out for out number 1. Now catcher number 33, Caden Usry, will come to the plate. Runner on first, one away here. Pacers trailing 4-3 in the bottom of the fifth. As Usry's going to hit a ball into right field. Martino's there. He makes the catch, coming over for out number 2. Now third baseman number 7, Caden Blankenship, will come to the plate. 2 away here. Runner on first for the Pacers. First pitch to Blankenship is a fastball right down the middle for strike 1. 0-1 was a hit and run, swung on by Blankenship and fouled out of play, and the count is quickly 0-2. To the count to Blankenship. And it's going to be a bouncing ball. Hit up the middle into center field for a base hit. Bird makes the turn for third, but then comes back to second base. So the Pacers have runners on first and second with 2 away here in the bottom of the fifth.
Right fielder number 12, Jose Hernandez.
Now Jose Hernandez at the plate, 2 away. Damascus first pitch is low for ball 1. And DeMurray has come set. Runners not being held first or second. And the 0-1 is outside again. Now 2-0 the count to Hernandez. DeMurray's ready on the plate, and the 2-0 to Hernandez. He checked his swing, and they're going to say he went around on a ball that bounced to the plate. So now the count 2-1. The 2-1 is inside to Hernandez, high and inside. Now the count 3-1. Number 2, James Eckert on deck. And the 3-1. Hernandez is going to hit on the ground to the first baseman. Known, he comes over and takes it to the bag himself, and the side is retired. For the Pacers in the bottom of the fifth, no runs on 1 hit and 2 men left on base. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Lander coming back to the plate, leading 4-3. Top of the 6th inning here in Aiken, South Carolina. Third baseman, number 32, Chris Manriquez at the plate to lead things off. Sandifer's first pitch to him is the ball low and away. And the 1-0 misses inside. 2-0 now the count. Sandifer ready on the mound now in the 2-0. Line drive into center field. Going back on it is Hannon. And it's off the wall. Manriquez in with a stand-up double to lead things off for the Bearcats, and their offense picks up right where it left off in the top of the 5th inning. After only having 3 hits in the first 3 innings, they have 4 hits just in the last 2 alone. Now shortstop number 21, Ethan Wilder, comes to the plate. Runner on second and nobody out. They lead 4-3. Check swing from Wilder at the plate. Goes into the Bearcats dugout for strike 1. Now the 0-1 is going to be a fair ball down the left field line. Sharp gets it in quickly, but the run is going to come across to score. And the Bearcats extend their lead to 5-3 on the RBI single from Ethan Wilder. Bennett Noe, number 8, the first baseman, coming to the plate now. Movement by starting back up in the Pacers bullpen. Sandifer checks the runner at first. He's back in time safely. First pitch to Noe is on the inside, ball 1. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Strike 1. The 1-1 low and away, 2-1. The 2-1 is popped up right at the shortstop Bird. He makes the catch for out number 1. Number 6, Matthew Burgess, second baseman, coming to the plate now. Sandifer checks the runner at first. He's back in time. And the first pitch to Burgess hits him, and he'll take his base. That brings to the plate center fielder number 9, Gary Garrett. Now Coach Holder's made his way out from the dugout again. And Sandifer's afternoon is done on the mound. A new pitcher coming in for the Pacers. We'll get you his name and number here in just a second. Bearcats leading 5-3 here in the top of the 6th. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There is a new pitcher on the mound for the Pacers here in the top of the 6th. Bearcats leading 5-3, but the designated hitter turned pitcher number 8, Luke Parker, is now taking over duties on the mound. Parker is 1-1 on the year and 10 innings pitched. He has 8 strikeouts with a .318 opponent's batting average. And after having a slow start, the Bearcats offense has come to life here in the 5th and 6th innings. And they now have a 2-run lead after the big 4-run 5th inning. There's runners on first and second with only one away. Still movement in the Pacers bullpen. No movement yet in the Bearcats bullpen. This is the Pacers' 3rd pitcher on the afternoon. Now Parker comes set. He's working out of the stretch here. Comes in to face the center fielder, Garrett. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it to the Bearcats dugout for strike one. Oh, and 1 is the count now to Garrett at the plate. Parker takes a look at the runner at second, now comes to the plate, and it's going to be on the ground. Mazingo goes to second for 1. Parker comes over to cover. Great stop there at first. They're going to say he came off the bag, but they do get a force out at second base, so the Bearcats now have runners on the corners and 2 away. That was a great effort by Luke Parker to come off the bag to cover at first. He had to come off the bag to make the catch. If it had gone to the fence, the runner from third would have, without a doubt, come around to score. So runners on the corners here, 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Bearcats leading now 5-3. And number 2, that is Oliver Zahn at the plate. Now Zahn at the plate. Parker takes a look at Garrett at first. Comes set, now comes to the plate. And Zahn's going to try and square around to bunt, and it's going to go foul for strike 1. Usry's going to try and check the runner at third. It's going to get away from Blankenship, and the Bearcats are going to have another run come across the score on the Pacers' error, and they now lead 6-3. Pacers really struggling here, now down by 3 runs. Runner on third here, still 2 away. That was a strike, though, to Zahn. So 0-1 is the count. The 1-1 is high, 2-1 now the count. The 2-1 to Zahn is a breaking ball that finds its way to the zone and evens the count now at 2-2. Two and two is the count. Gets away from Usry. Runner comes to come across to score, and the Bearcats extend their lead to 7-3 on the pass ball. Count is full to Zahn and the 3-2 from Parker. He's going to be hit off the end of the bat, rolling into foul territory. Blankenship picks it up. And we'll do the 3-2 over. And the 3-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3, and the side is retired. For the Bearcats, though, in the top of the 6th, they get 3 runs on 2 hits and nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Pacers now find themselves down by a score of 7-3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the sixth inning. Pacers down now 7-3 to the Lander Bearcats, but leading things off as the second baseman. That's number 2, James Eckert. First pitch to Eckert is a fastball down the middle for strike one. Number 27, Demarius, still on the mound here for the Bearcats. Eckert swings at the 0-1, is going to bounce it foul into the Pacers dugout, and the count now is quickly 0-2. The 0-2 to Eckert called strike three as Eckert goes down on strikes for out number 1. Top of the lineup now coming to the plate for the Pacers, and number 22, Josh Sharp. First pitch to Sharp is a fastball down the middle, 0-1. Sharp swings at the 0-1, is going to be hit into left field foul territory. But coming over to make the catch is Zahn for out number 2. Center fielder number 10, Jackson Hannon, now comes to the plate. 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Hannon's a fastball down the middle, strike 1. And Hannon's going to hit a line drive into center field, a base hit. That was a hard hit ball off the bat of Hannon. And the Pacers have a 2-out single here, which will bring to the plate first baseman number 19, Joe Mazingo.
First baseman number 19, Joe Mazingo.
First pitch to Mazingo is a curveball, finds the zone, strike 1. The 0-1 missing outside, 1-1 now the count. The 1-1 swung on and fouled off at the plate, but the count now 1-2. And the 1-2 is going to hit Mazingo, and he's going to take his base. The Pacers have base runners now with 2 away, and that'll bring the designated hitter turned pitcher, number 8, Luke Parker, to the plate. As Coach Holder comes out to have a quick meeting with Parker. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Pacers trailing 7-3 to Lander here in the bottom of the 6th. Parker's going to step in to face off against Demarius. And the first to Parker is down the middle, strike 1. The 0-1 is a slider that gets Parker out in front, swinging and missing on now 0-2. Another breaking ball just missing outside, and the count 1-2 now. The 1-2 low and away. Great stop behind the plate there by McClellan, and the count now 2-2. Count is even at 2-2. Pitch to Parker low. Great stop again by McClellan, and the count now full at a 3-2. Count is full at 3-2. Runners go. Parker hits it on the ground to shortstop. Wilder has a throw on it over to first in time, and the side is retired for the Pacers. No runs on one hit and 2 men left on base. We played 6. We'll go to the 7th. Lander coming to the plate, still leading 7-3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the 7th inning here. Lander leading USC Aiken by a score of 7-3. Number 1, the catcher Will McClellan now at the plate. He comes in to face off against Luke Parker. The designated hitter turned pitcher as the first pitch to McClellan is high for ball 1. The 1-0 is a fastball which finds the zone for strike 1. The 1-1 is swung on and missed. Now the count 1-2. And the 1-2 low and away. Now the count 2-2. Count even at 2-2. McClellan swings and fouls it out of play down the left field line, and we will do it over. The 2-2 just misses outside, and the count is full now at 3-2. The count is full at 3-2. McClellan's going to hit a high fly ball into foul territory, and we'll do the 3-2 over. The 3-2 from Parker. Misses high, ball 4, and McClellan will take his base. Now number 30 comes to the plate. That is Connor Droz. Nobody out. Bearcats leading 7-3. First pitch from Parker is a high for ball 1. The 1-0 is down the middle, but is called a ball. 2-0 the count. The count to Droz. Now the pitch. On the outside, called strike 1. The 2-1 misses low. 3-1 now the count. The 3-1 is low, ball 4, and Droz will take his base, and back-to-back walks give the Bearcats runners on first and second with nobody away. That brings to the plate number 25, Lucas Martino, the right fielder.
Right fielder number 25, Lucas Martino.
First pitch to Martino misses high, ball 1. The 1-0 is swung on and fouled off to the backstop. Now the count 1-1. The 1-1, a check swing at the plate. They're going to say he went around. Great stop behind the plate by Ussery to keep it in front of him. And the count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 swung on and missed for strike 3 and out number 1. Third baseman number 32, Chris Manriquez now at the plate. And Manriquez swings at the first pitch and fouls it to the backstop for strike 1. The 0-1 again fouled off to the backstop, and the count quickly 0-2. The 0-2 just misses outside. The count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 misses high. 2-2 now the count. Two and two the count, and it's going to be a base hit into right field. Hernandez has it. He's going to try and get it in quickly. And it's going to be cut off by Mazingo, and the Bearcats get another run across. They lead now 8-3 on the RBI single from number 32, Manriquez. Ethan Wilder now comes to the plate. Runners on first and second, one away here in the top of the seventh. First pitch to Wilder down the middle, strike one. Wilder hits one on the second. Mazingo has it to second for one. Ecker throws over. Double play, and the side is retired. A 5-4-3 double play ends the inning for the Pacers, but the Bearcats do get a run. So they have one run on two hits and one man left on base. We will go to the bottom of the seventh. Pacers coming to the plate now, trailing 8-3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Leading things off for the Pacers is shortstop number 15, Justin Bird, here in the bottom of the seventh. Pacers trailing 8-3. They have 11 hits offensively, but have struggled to get runs across the plate and only have 3 runs to show for. Number 27, Demary, is still on the mound for the Bearcats. No movement in the Bearcats bullpen, nor in the Pacers bullpen. As Bird swings and fouls it off down the first base line for strike one. Bird swings at the 0-1 and fouls it off out of play, and the count now quickly at 0-2. Now the 0-2. Swung and fouled off to the backstop, and the count remains 0-2. The 0-2 Bird hits into left field for a base hit.
The catcher number 33, Caden Usry.
Now catcher number 33, Caden Usry, will come to the plate. Usry at the plate, runner on first, nobody out here. And he's going to hit a ball that's going to be picked up in foul territory for strike one. They're going to check Bird at first. He gets back in time safely. Now the 0-1. Breaking ball, missing outside, 1-1. Bird is back in the 1-1. And the 1-1 to Usry is a breaking ball which finds the zone, and the count now 1-2. Now the 1-2 to Usry. Missing high, 2-2. Breaking ball had Usry out in front, swinging and missing for strike three and out number one. Now third baseman number 7, Caden Blankenship, will come to the plate. First pitch to Blankenship is high, ball one. And the 1-0 on the outside, called strike one. Blankenship's going to hit a high fly ball into left center field. Coming over to make the catch is Garrett for out number 2. And Jose Hernandez now comes to the plate. 2 away here with a runner on first. Hernandez swings and fouls it down the right field line for strike one. And the 0-1, another breaking ball. Hit down the right field line, and the count now quickly 0-2 on Hernandez. Oh, 0-2 to Hernandez. Now the pitch. Foul to the backstop, and we'll do it over. The 0-2 misses high, 1-2 the count. The 1-2, Hernandez barely getting out of the way, and the count now even. Now the 2-2. Breaking ball missing high, 3-2 now the count. They're going to check Bird at first, and he's back in time. Hernandez hits a line drive into center field right at Garrett for out number 3, and the side is retired. For the Pacers, no runs on 1 hit and 1 man left on base. We played 7. We'll go to the 8th. Bearcats coming to the plate, leading 8-3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Parker still on the mound here, and leading things off is number 8, Bennett, known for the Bearcats, as he's going to swing at the first pitch he sees and pop it up on the infield. And Caden Blankenship, the third baseman, turns second baseman, comes over to make the catch. Some substitutions here defensively for the Pacers. It appears that James Eckert has been subbed out. Caden Blankenship has moved over to second base, and Nick Tripp has come into the game at third base. First pitch to number 6. Burgess is high for ball 1. The 1-0 down the middle, called strike 1. Last pitch of breaking ball finds the zone. The count now 1-2. The 1-2 going to be hit into left field for a base hit. Burgess makes a sharp turn at first, but goes back in time. And the Bearcats have now hit double-digit hits with their 10th on the afternoon. That brings to the plate number 9, center fielder Gary Garrett. Breaking ball going to be hit on the ground. Mazingo takes it to the bag himself. Doesn't try to get the force out at second or turn the double play, as there's 2 outs now, but there is a runner in scoring position now for the Bearcats. That brings to the plate the top of the lineup with Oliver Zahn now coming to the plate.
Left fielder number 2, Oliver Zahn.
First pitch to Zahn is low, ball 1. Zahn squares the bunt, but the pitch from Parker is high. 2-0 now the count. The 2-0 misses high. 3-0 now the count to Zahn. And a very rare 4-pitch walk to Zahn, and the inning continues. Now number 1, Will McClellan, the catcher, comes to the plate. 2 away here, runners on first and second. Lander leads USC Aiken 8-3. First pitch to McClellan is an off-speed pitch, got him out in front, strike 1. The 0-1 on the outside corner now, quickly 0-2. The 0-2 from Parker. Low and outside, 1-2. Now the 1-2 from Parker. Going to be a line drive just out of the reach of Tripp. 1 run is going to come across to score. They're going to try and get the runner at second, and he's in. The Bearcats add on to their lead, now leading 9-3 on the RBI double from number 1, McClellan. Now designated hitter Connor Droz comes to the plate. Runners on second and third with 2 away. First pitch from Parker bounces to the plate for ball 1. The 0-1 is low, 2-0 now the count. Pitch to Droz low, 3-0 now the count from Parker. And the pitch from Parker is low. Durden will take ball 4 on 4 straight balls. The bases are now loaded for number 25, Lucas Martino. Martinez in a swing, and it's going to be called foul, strike one. Marcelo's going to hit a shallow fly ball into center field as Hannon comes on to make the catch to retire the side. For the Bearcats, they get one run on one hit and 3 men left on base. Going to the bottom of the 8th, Pacers running out of time, trailing now 9-3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Tripp comes to the plate. For the first time this afternoon, he's come in to play third for the Pacers. And he swings at the first pitch and misses from strike one. Demarius still on the mound here for the Bearcats. Tripp swings and misses, now 0-2. And Tripp's going to swing and hit a ground ball off the third baseman. And Tripp's going to come for second base. And he's in. So not sure how that'll be scored, as it did go off of Marquez at third. But the Pacers showing a little bit of life here. They have a runner on second base with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Now Josh Sharp comes to the plate. Leadoff man coming with a runner in scoring position. Now Demarius set. He takes a look at Tripp at second. And the first pitch to Tripp is called strike one. The 0-1 to Sharp is low, 1-1 now the count. The 1-1 to Sharp, missing high, 2-1. The 2-1 outside, 3-1 now the count to Sharp. 3-1 to Sharp. Called on the outside corner. Now the count goes to 3-2. Now the 3-2 to Sharp. Missing outside, high in ball 4, and Sharp will take his base. So the Pacers getting a little bit of showing a little life here in the bottom of the 8th. They have runners on first and second with nobody away. Bringing to the plate center fielder number 10, Jackson Hannon. Demarius takes a look at Tripp. Now comes to the plate. Almost hit Hannon, but he's able to get out of the way for ball 1. So Demarius struggling to find the strike zone here in the 8th inning. Pacers up to 13 hits after that single from Tripp. I forgot to mention that. The 1-0 to Hannon finds the strike zone. Now 1-1. There's some movement starting in the Bearcats bullpen. Another breaking ball almost got a piece of Hannon. Actually almost found its way back to the strike zone, but is going to get called a ball. 2-1 now the count. Runner on first and second. That is Sharp at first. He's not being held defensively by Nonen. And Hannon's going to hit a bouncing ball into left field for a base hit. Tripp's going to round third. He's coming across to score. Sharp is held at second, and the Pacers finally get a run there first since the bottom of the 4th, and they trail now only 9-4 on the RBI single from Jackson Hannon. Now first baseman number 19, Joe Mazingo, will come to the plate. Pitcher starting to warm up for the Bearcats now. Mazingo taking his time. Demarius having to work out of the stretch for just one of the few first times this afternoon. He comes set. Hannon not being held at first either. Breaking ball to Mazingo finds the zone, strike 1. And Mazingo's going to get hit on the 0-1, and the Pacers have the bases loaded with nobody away here in the bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded, nobody away. There's going to be a players-only meeting at the mound here just to try and calm Demarius down. With number 8, the designated hitter turned pitcher, Luke Parker, making his way out. As the coach is now making his way out, we'll take a break real quick. Pacers in business here. Bases loaded, nobody out. Luke Parker at the plate. They trail 9-4. And welcome back. The meeting at the mound is adjourned, and Luke Parker, the designated hitter turned pitcher, will make his way to the batter's box. Bases loaded, corners in middle infielders back here for the Bearcats. Demarius comes set on the mound. He looks over to Sharp at third, now comes to the plate. Parker's going to swing and hit a fly ball into right field. The catch is made. Sharp's going to trek for home. He comes across to score, so the Pacers do get a run on the RBI sacrifice fly from Parker and trail now only 9-5. Runners on the corners with only one away. That brings to the plate shortstop number 15, Justin Bird. Now Bird comes to the plate to face off against Demarius. Bird had a single in his last at bat, and the fielder's choice in the bat before that. Demarius now set on the mound. Now the pitch. Low for ball one. Movement in both bullpens for the Pacers and the Bearcats. And Bird's going to hit a hard hit ball into left field. The diving stop made there by Zahn in left field, but a run does come across the score. That's Jackson Hannon. So two back-to-back sacrifice flies get the Pacers slowly getting back at this Lander lead now. They only trail 9-6, but there's two quick outs here in the bottom of the eighth. And that'll bring to the plate catcher number 33, Caden Ussery. So now runner only on first. And they were going to try and say that Hannon left early, but that was not the case as the umpire called him safe as the Bearcats threw it back to third. So now Ussery is coming to the plate, 2 away. Now Demarius comes to the plate. Ussery swings and misses for strike one. Now the 0-1. Ussery's going to swing and hit it into fair territory. And he's going to be tagged out by Noonan, and the side is retired. But the Pacers, they get a few runs back. They get 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 man left on base. We played 8th. We'll go to the 9th. The Bearcats coming to the plate leading 9-6. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Aiken, South Carolina. Top of the 9th inning here. Lander coming to the plate, leading USC Aiken 9-6. But there is a new pitcher on the mound for the Pacers. Now on the mound is number 27, Aaron Flink. He is 0-0 on the year in 6 innings pitched with a .419 opponent's batting average. He comes in to face off against number 25. That is Lucas Martino. He's the right fielder defensively for the Bearcats. It's the first pitch to him. This is inside for ball one. Excuse me, that is number 32 at the plate. Yes, Chris Manriquez, the third baseman, number 32, Manriquez, at the plate for the Bearcats. So 1-1 is the count now. And he swings and fouls it off to the backstop, and the count now 1-2. The 1-2 is a bouncing ball up the middle, played by Bird. He comes over from behind the bag, throws over to Mazingo, and the out is recorded for number 1.
Shortstop number 21, Ethan Wilder.
Now shortstop number 21, Ethan Wilder, will come to the plate. One away here in the top of the 9th. First pitch down the middle. Fastball, strike 1. The 0-1 is hit high and deep into right field. Going back on it is Hernandez, and it's going to bounce off the wall. Hernandez misplays it in right field, has to get it in quickly, and he's going to get in with a triple. So now number 8, Bennett Newey, the first baseman, comes to the plate. Runner on third here. Bearcats leading 9-6. That's the pace. So it's a double and then an advance on an error in right field. That's the Pacers' 4th error defensively. And Flink's first pitch to Newen is going to hit him. So just like that, the Bearcats in business again with 2 base runners on in 2 pitches with only 1 away. And number 6, Matthew Burgess, comes to the plate. First pitch to Burgess down the middle for strike 1. The 0-1 bounces to the plate. Great stop by Usry to keep it in front of him. The Flink's going to hit a soft fly ball into shallow left field, but Bird's going to be able to come over to make the out for out number 2. And that'll bring to the plate center fielder number 9, Gary Garrett. So runners on first and third here. Usry comes out to make a call defensively. Now the first pitch to Garrett. Right on the outside corner, a fastball for strike 1. Now the 0-1. Going to be hard hit on the ground. Bird makes a play, throws over to first. Great pick from Mozingo to get the low throw to retire the side. For the Bearcats, no runs on 1 hit and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Pacers down by 3, but they're down to their final 3 outs. They trail 9-6. Welcome back to the bottom of the ninth inning. There is a new pitcher on the mound for the Bearcats, number 28, Bennett Sloper. He's 0-1 on the year with 15 innings pitched and a 207 opponent's batting average and 37 strikeouts, 12 strikeouts on the year. He comes in to face the middle of the Pacers lineup. Leading off is third baseman turned second baseman, number 7, Caden Blankenship. Pacers got 3 runs back in the bottom of the 8th inning, now trail only by a score of 9-6. Now Blankenship comes into the plate. Sloper working out of the stretch here even with the bases empty. And the first pitch from Blankenship is swung on and foul tipped at the plate, but caught by McClellan behind the plate for strike 1. Blankenship swings at the 0-1 and fouls it off out of play. And the count now quickly 0-2. Oh, and 2 now the count. Sloper ready on the mound, and the pitch. Low for ball 1. The 1-2 is low to Blankenship, and the count is now even at 2-2. And it's going to be a shot to the third baseman, caught there by Manicrez for out number 1. Blankenship put a hard hit on that ball, but it was right into his glove for out number 1. So 1 away here, and Jose Hernandez will come to the plate. First pitch to Hernandez on the outside, strike 1. The 0-1 now quickly 0-2. 2 back-to-back fastballs right down the middle. Jose Hernandez is going to hit a base hit into left field with 1 away. Now third baseman number 21, Nick Tripp, comes in. He's 1 for 1 with a single and was able to advance to make it to second base last time. Hernandez on first. He's held by no one there. And Tripp's going to swing and hit a high fly ball down the left field line, and it just goes foul. Pacers trail by 3 runs, but have an astonishing 15 hits on the afternoon. And out hit by the Bearcats only by 3, as they have 12. So a lot of offense shown for either side this afternoon. Now the 0-1 to Tripp. Is low, 1-1 now the count. High fastballs got Tripp swinging and missing for strike 2. And Tripp's going to hit a hard hit ball down the third base line, and it's going to go foul, and the count will remain at 1-2. Now the 1-2 from Sloper. Tripp's going to hit high into left field, going to go into foul territory. But coming over to make the catch is Zahn, right on the foul line for out number 2, and the Pacers are down to their final out. Now Josh Sharp will come to the plate. Pacers trailing 9-6 with a runner on first. First pitch to Sharp is down the middle for strike 1. They almost try to throw back on Hernandez. McClellan just stared him back. The 0-1 high, now 1-1 the count. Sloper gets a signal on the mound. Hernandez has his lead at first, and the 1-1 to Sharp. Swung on and fouled off to the backstop, and the count now 1-2. Sharpson hit it on the ground, right at the shortstop. Wilder, he flips to second to get the force out to Burgess, and that's your ball game. The bottom of the ninth, the Pacers get no runs on 1 hit and 1 man left on base. And the Bearcats will win game 1 in this 3-game series by a final score of 9-6. Final stats for the victorious Lander Bearcats, they get 9 runs on 12 hits and 3 errors defensively. And for the Pacers, they get 6 runs on 15 hits and 4 errors defensively. Lander goes to 500 on the year. They are 24-24 on the season, 16-12 in Peach Belt Conference play, and 9-13 on the road. The Pacers fall to 29-19, 19-10 in conference play, and they are now 15-11 here at Roberto Hernandez Stadium. So with that, the Bearcats take game 1, but there are 2 more games to be played this weekend. On Saturday, the first pitch is set for 2 p.m., and on Sunday, the game is set for 2 p.m. as well. So that'll about wrap it up for us here this afternoon. Pacers fall game 1 to Lander by a final score of 9-6. I'm Reeves Altman saying thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon, and we will see you next time. First pitch set for 2 p.m. right here from Roberto Hernandez Stadium in Aiken, South Carolina.